Welcome into the UTRGV Coaches Show. I'm your host, KJ Doyle, joining you after an incredible win for the UTRGV Vaqueros over Incarnate. We're joined once again by the head coach of the Vaqueros football team, Travis Bush. Coach Bush, your team, really strong performance against the reigning conference champions, the Incarnate Word Cardinals, coming into Edinburgh. Team goes up 35-0 at halftime and ends up taking the win 56-28. How do you feel about the performance?
Happy homecoming there. It's just fired. Really proud of the way our guys played, the way they responded. The week we had last week coming back from Lamar. Again, the growth we continue to have. We're still growing. We're still, every win, every loss is an opportunity for growth in our program, and to see the leadership step up and those young men really come together and again, we talked. They had a good team meeting Friday night and really opened up about their love and bond for each other. And then just to see them play like that Saturday, last night, and again, just really, finally to me, kind of played to the potential on all three phases. And again, just credit to those young men and the leadership, the chemistry, and the love, and it showed last night.
All week long, you kind of emphasized, one of the main things you emphasized was starting fast. We got to start fast. We got to start fast. You can't start much faster than a 35-0 lead in that game. Talk to me about how proud of your team you were that they were able to execute that.
Good, and it goes back to, I think, one of the biggest keys to starting fast is the environment. And just again, hats off to the Rio Grande Valley for coming out last night and having our backs and showing out. But it's a tough place to play, but it gets everybody's juices going. So it's easy to start fast at home, but it was, we looked at everything and we worked on some things in practice and switched up some stuff, but really emphasized coming out, and that went into play calling and being aggressive and attacking and pushing the ball down the field and coming after them on defense. So everybody, again, it's fun when you see a plan get executed, and but credit to the guys. It was about execution. It's a game of details, and they came out and executed well early.
Well, let's talk about one of the people that was executing all night long for the team. Tony Diaz set a program record with 17 receptions. We're going to take a look at his stats here and then take a look at some of his big plays. 17 receptions, 172 yards. Also had the score in this game. Just ended up really having an incredible performance. 17 receptions. Eddie Lee was just able to find him all night long as kind of a safety blanket sort of weapon, and just there whenever you guys needed him to make a play, pick up a first down, whatever you guys needed, he was able to get it done.
Yeah, no doubt. That was a key too. We want to get the ball in his hands and get it to our playmakers' hands. And again, he just, they were giving us some stuff there in the secondary, and he did a great job finding that space. And Eddie knew where he was, and they had a great connection all night, and some huge plays for us. Explosive plays, big downs, and obviously the touchdown there, really in a crucial point there in the third quarter. But again, good ball placement, and a lot of one-on-one matchups. And when Tony's out there, we don't consider that covered. Really, any of our guys, we don't consider them covered. It's one-on-one, and Eddie knows where to put the football, and those guys know where to find it. But again, credit to them, and he has phenomenal ball skills, and we always said he may be one of the best I've been around. But again, hats off to him, the way he worked, the way he came back. He was disappointed in some things from the week before, but he had a great week, and we knew we were going to trust him and put the ball in his hands. But
here's the touchdown right here, one-handed catch. Doesn't get much better than that.
He does that every day. You watch him every day in Pat and Go. He does that every single day, and again, he's just. It's not covered when he's out there. It's one-on-one, and you put in the range, he's going to go find it and get it. But just hats off. We're so proud of him and his growth and the week he had, and for him to come out and have that performance. I'm just so proud of that young man.
Early on in the game, I think first two plays of the game, if I'm not mistaken, were both kind of 5-yard hitch routes to Tony on the outside, just kind of getting the offense going. Was that by design? I mean, you touched on the offensive struggles from the last game. Eddie Lee's completion percentage was kind of low last game. Was it kind of part of your thinking of let's get some quick completions early in this game, kind of get some momentum, and then hit some of these bigger plays down the field? Without
a doubt, and they were giving us that. We knew they were going to give us that boundary flat there. So just coming out, taking what they give us early, and the way things kind of work out. Tony's on the left and Xavion's on the right. So had we been on the right hash, Xavion would have got all those throws. So you look at the stats and it just kind of worked out. Hey, we happen to be on the left hash when they were giving us the flat. But without a doubt, you want to get it, and that's part of it too. We want to get in their hands early. We want to get them kind of greased up. When you're catching footballs, your mindset's better, and same things when you're completing passes early. So a lot of that went into the game plan to really help us start fast, to kind of put them in situations to get some of that quick success early. And now everyone has more confidence, confidence in the play caller, confidence in in everybody. But then, again, some of the throws he made, especially that first third down to Xavier on that first series and the touchdown to Ishmael, he was, you could tell he was focused. And, proud of Eddie as well for the week he had. He was disappointed in some things, but again, credit. We challenged the offense in front of the team. We challenged them to come out and answer the call this week and then put it in their hands, and they did a good job.
They certainly did a good job. And when you put up 56 points on the scoreboard, obviously the defense able to be a big part of that too. We'll look at all that when we come back here on the UTRGV Coaches Show after the big win over Incarnate Word. Welcome back into the UTRGV Coaches Show, joined by the head coach of the UTRGV Vaqueros football team, Travis Bush. Coach Bush, we talked about the early part of that game a little bit already, but let's take a look at some of the big plays that were able to make it happen on that first drive. Xavier Nolan hooks up with Eddie Lee. Eddie Lee able to find him down the sideline, and this, to me, was one of the best throws Eddie Lee had all night. Yeah,
it's crucial, and then really the first third down conversion, which was another focus this week. We wanted to convert on third down, and again, they manned us up, and great job. Same thing, it's a ball placement. It's not covered. It's one-on-one. Does a great job putting it over the outside. And of course, Xavier, made a great catch. And with his height, sometimes it's tough when he's got blanket coverage. But he really had a good night and did some good things one-on-one. So proud of them. But that helped us get started there early, convert on that first down, get an explosive play, and then we were able to score the next play.
Able to set you guys up right outside the red zone, and then you're able to find your tight end, Ishmael Smith-Flores, for his first score of the night. A nice play by Eddie, too, stepping up out of the up in the pocket a little bit and able to find him.
Yeah, good. Again, Ishmael's a good, big target. We got to utilize him more. He was kind of not involved in the game plan a lot last week because he didn't practice much. He was kind of nursing an injury, so we didn't know if he was going to be there. But definitely, knew he was there this week and had him involved in the game plan and utilized his body, his athleticism downfield. So there's a great job, great catch there. And again, another good throw by Eddie. And the game of details and game of inches, and all those throws were just, right exactly where they needed to be at that right inch. And guys made big plays.
And he wasn't done making big plays. He made a couple early on for you guys. He was really the difference maker in the early going. We're going to take a look at his second touchdown. He goes down the seam. Eddie Lee able to find him. Looks pretty simple, but after we get the close-up look at it, break down for us, because it looked like Nolan was able to draw a lot of attention coming across the defense here.
Yeah, and that's, again, a good job by Eddie, kind of just going through his progression. First reads Tony up top. Well, kind of safety drops deep, so then he looks to Xavier. Well, the safety comes over on Xavier, and then we know Ishmael is going to be up that seam. Behind that safety. So just a great job. You can see him work that's his third progression, worked right through it. Again, put the ball right on the money, and then, Ishmael didn't have to slow down. He could beat those guys at the end zone.
And, for Smith-Flores, this was undoubtedly one of the biggest games that he had for you guys so far. I know he was someone that you were really happy to be able to bring into the program, have at the tight end position. How great was it to see him perform at this level in such a big spot?
It's good, and he's still growing. He's young, he's still got plenty of years left, so he's still getting better every week and getting in situations. But definitely, I was even joking with him pregame. I said, hey, when you score a touchdown, we win the game. And so as soon as he scored those first couple of series, we kind of got a little confidence boost as well. But again, he can do a lot of things. Split him out, put his hand down. You see him in the wing, in the backfield, and we motion him around. So definitely a guy that's very versatile and we can use in different situations.
Well, a fantastic game for him, and a big part of that fast start for your offense, going up 35-0. But that wasn't it. That was just some of the first quarter. Let's take a look at the second quarter when we would come back on the UTRGV Coaches Show. Some of the big plays, Eddie Lee Marburger, Nathan Denny making them. We'll take a look at it here on the UTRGV Coaches Show when we return. Welcome back into the UTRGV Coaches Show, joined by the head coach of the Vaqueros football team, Travis Bush. Coach Bush, your offense making some big plays in this game, as we mentioned early on in this one. Second quarter, your team already up big, and your team facing a big set of downs here. Eddie Lee able to find Nathan Denny out of the backfield, who was wide open on this play, able to take it to the house. I know a guy that you've talked a lot about, Nathan Denny, special player when he's healthy, able to be on the field, makes another big play for you guys here in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was a good play. We're actually trying to take a shot down the field. It's first down, and they had the deep guys covered, and that's his check down. And Eddie did a good job just finding Denny, and that's kind of the outlet. If first down, hey, dump it out to him, we'll get 5 yards. But there was nobody out there. You look here, heck, if the the ball was a hand grenade, Denny would have been the only one injured. Yeah. There's nobody around him. So, but good job just finding him out there. But what you don't see kind of at the end is Tony Diaz blocking his tail off for about 6 to 8 seconds. The entire time Denny's running, Tony is blocking his man, which allows Denny to just walk in the end zone. So again, credit to total team guy, team player there, and hats off to Tony for his effort to finish that block off.
And obviously, I mean, any defense doesn't want to let a player get that wide open. Was that more of a busted coverage? Was it just that they were sending a blitz and that they didn't account for Denny off the blitz? What do you kind of make of what the defense was doing?
It looks like they just kind of lost him. We kind of rolled out to the field, and linebackers kind of flew over the top, thinking either quarterback run or some bootleg. So I think they just kind of lost him in the backfield there, and he was able to sneak out. And Eddie did a good job finding him.
This is the Eddie Lee rushing touchdown later on in the second quarter. Eddie Lee able to escape the pocket. We'll take another look at it here. Under pressure, pocket collapsing, he's able to get out of it.
Yeah, that was huge. We scored. We got that holding call. We scored and got pushed back, and it's 3rd and goal from about the 15. They drop 8, so there's 8 guys in coverage. So really nothing open, and just does a good job there. So what his coach to do is get on the move, and he got out there, and there was clean. They stayed covering, and he was able to just take it on in the end zone.
And Eddie Lee had a monstrous game overall in this one. We've seen a few of his passes already, and obviously the rushing touchdown he had there. On the game in total, 440 yards passing, 6 touchdowns through the air, another one on the ground, 0 interceptions. I imagine this was kind of what you were hoping for after last week's performance, hoping Eddie Lee was able to settle back in, have a good week of practice, and have a performance just like that.
Without a doubt, and just again goes back to the execution, the details, the inches that we talk about. Some of those plays were there last week, but the ball was a little off, or they got a hand in there, they knocked some balls out. So there's just again the inches are so small in the game, but credit, guys did a great job. The receivers did a great job, and then some of those he had just enough time to get them off with the protection up front. And they came out. They did a lot of things defensively to come after it, and the O-line did a good job passing some stuff off. But again, he was locked in. He was focused. He was determined this week. He was working his tail off, and it showed on Saturday. So it'll be good. Again, another good example to learn from as we move into next week of what they did, the extra stuff, the details they did this week, and how it paid off, and it showed on Saturday.
Well, as good as your offense was, the defense did a tremendous job, especially that first half, shutting out Incarnate Word in the first half of this game to help you guys hold that 35-0 lead into halftime. We'll take a look at some of the things the defense was able to do when we come back here on the UTRGV Coaches Show. Welcome back into the UTRGV Coaches Show with the head coach of the Vaqueros, Travis Bush. Coach Bush, your defense did make some big plays in this game. Really, when you look at it, first half, able to shut out the Cardinals. Third quarter, had some struggles there, let up some big plays. Let the Cardinals get back into the game for just a moment, but for 3 out of the 4 quarters of this game, you have to be thrilled with the way the defense was able to play.
No doubt, no doubt. You talk about starting fast. Well, that was the biggest key. The getting the stops and getting the ball back for the offense. But again, they were flying around, and they've been playing well. They've been playing really good. And Incarnate Word's a good offense. We knew they were going to be explosive. We knew they were going to score points. They can score at any time. So to come out and really stop them like we did, and you're not going to ever completely stop a team like that. You just got to get enough stops. And we got enough stops there in the first half that allowed us to get that lead. But we knew that they were going to come out and they were going to be on fire in the second half because they were going to open it up a little bit, and we had to hang on a little bit. We knew we had to weather a storm there. But again, got to the fourth quarter, guys feel comfortable. Hey, we've won the fourth quarter every week, and of course got to the fourth quarter. 2 big turnovers there, and then the icing on the cake to take one in and score there on defense.
Well, you mentioned the icing on the cake here. We'll take a look at that now. Defense able to make the big play, force the fumble, and cap off their night with a touchdown.
Yeah, big play here, and then got pressure on the quarterback and knocked that ball loose, and Jade House picks it up right there and takes it in. And what you don't see there is Nathan Huerta as he's in there. The ball comes loose, but instead of him getting up and trying to go get the fumble, he holds the quarterback back, which allows his teammates to pick that fumble up and take that in. So it just again shows you the love these guys have, the unselfishness, and the way those guys just have each other's back. But that was huge to see those guys do that. But so happy for House. And anytime a big guy gets a touchdown, man, yeah, those are fun to watch. Everybody gets excited.
And talking about this play specifically, when you have a player that is hold on to the quarterback there while the ball is loose, can you explain to the fans why that's a legal play? That's not a penalty for him holding him back because he's in the process at that point of taking down the quarterback.
Yeah. When that ball's loose, it's really it's free game. Anything. So you can grab, you can hold, and it's about trying to get to the ball, but just really situational awareness, and you teach that stuff. But to see those guys really come into play there, but again, it's just a total unselfish play and aware of the situation, and credit to the defense, and again our staff does a great job. They work on that stuff daily, but just so happy for them to and really relieved. It was still in a point of the ball game where it's kind of going back and forth, and it's really not, you really don't feel comfortable yet. But after that turnover and to go up by 28, it kind of gave us some breathing room there, and you felt more comfortable there. And again, credit, you got guys, Good there, and getting smart football, not blocking in the back, but making sure that we don't get that thing called back, and might need to work on some dances, some touchdown dance there with the defense. But it's just so fun. This group, it's a really fun group, and they're just so close, and they have so much fun together. But the games like last night just make it so special.
Well, we're going to take a look at some of the other pressure they were able to create in this game, because the defense was hounding Incarnate Word all game long. If it wasn't for the fact that Incarnate Word has a very mobile quarterback on their hands, you guys probably would have had a lot more sacks in this game. But they were able to create a lot of pressure and put the Incarnate Word offense in a lot of trouble early. Had to have a lot of scramble plays and a lot of plays where things broke down, pocket broke down, and they had to just try to make things work.
Yeah, and we knew that was a big part of their game, what they do, and he gets well. He's mobile. He makes plays on his feet. So that was something again that worked on all week long, trying to contain the quarterback. Again, you're not going to completely contain him, but making sure you just don't give up too many explosive plays. But that was really huge again in the first half of being able to get those third down stops, keep him contained right there, and again force him to punt all those times there in the first half, and some fourth down stops as well. And that's again gave us the opportunity to keep the offense on the field and to get that lead in the first half.
Well, tremendous effort from the defense all evening, leading to that victory. We're going to put that one in the books and look ahead to next week. Stephen F. Austin on tap. UTRGV heading on the road for this matchup. We'll look ahead to that one when we return here on the UTRGV Coaches Show. Welcome back into the UTRGV Coaches Show, wrapping things up with the head coach of the Vaqueros, Travis Bush. Coach Bush, you're facing a big opponent, tough opponent next week in conference play. Stephen F. Austin, ranked 24th in the nation heading into this previous week. We'll see where they fall in the rankings when those come out for FCS this upcoming week. But obviously a big game, a chance once again to take down potentially first-ranked foe that you'll be able to beat in program history.
Yeah, and SFA, we've had the ability to see them on film now a few times with the past couple of conference opponents we have. I'm not sure they're not the best team in the league, and they're really good. They're playing good on all phases, and so it's going to be challenged. They've won their last two. They went to Incarnate Word and beat them. They just went to East Texas Commerce and beat them. So again, team that's winning conference games on the road to compete for the championship. You've got to win conference games on the road, so a good challenge at some point. Again, that's the next first for us. We've got a lot of firsts taken care of. The next first for this program is first conference game on the road. So great opportunity. We got two left, but two huge challenges. But again, this one's going to be huge. But you never know. Again, the guys we're playing good. We're still getting better. We're playing with confidence, and so we'll look at the issue. The focus is going to be start fast. The last two times out on the road against good opponents, we've kind of put ourselves in a hole. So that's going to be, again, something we cannot do against a team of this caliber. And will definitely be the focus this week, and we'll see how we prepare.
As far as the road ahead, after this Stephen F. Austin game, 4 games left now, 2 games at home, 2 on the road. You look at the rest of the conference slate. Some of the teams that we talk about that you guys have remaining, East Texas A&M, they're a team that, again, like you guys, was picked to finish at the bottom of this conference. They've looked really good so far in conference play, giving some teams some really good games. Obviously, the previous team that Incarnate Word faced was East Texas A&M. They were able to take down Incarnate Word as well. You look at these games against Nichols, McNeese. What are your thoughts on the remaining slate for the team?
Anybody can beat anybody in this league. And again, Nichols hadn't really won a game since the first game. They dominated McNeese yesterday, and so it's a tough league. And you kind of get to this point, and it's October, November, and some guys are getting tired of playing. Some guys are playing better and improving week to week, and some guys are competing for championships. Some guys are trying to make the playoffs. So it's good challenges week in, week out. So it's a tough road, and regardless, and everybody can beat everybody. But I like the way our guys are playing. I like the way we match up. We've shown we can play with everybody in this conference. So you look at our schedule, you look at our team. I think we have the potential to beat everybody on our schedule, but at the same time, they have the potential to beat us. That's football. That's the Southland Conference. Who shows up, plays in 3-hour window on Saturday.
At this point, do you start to talk to the team about, hey, look, this is what we need to do if we want to try to get into the FCS playoffs with this remaining schedule?
Nah, we just focus 1 week at a time. I mean, that's all we can control right now is 1 day at a time, 1 week. You know, all that stuff will work itself out down the road. But right now, it's just the focus is learn. We'll come in, learn from this game, and take 1 day at a time next week and go try to win our first conference game on the road.
All right, well, it should be an exciting one. Coach Bush, thank you so much for joining us once again. Best of luck on the road against Stephen F. Austin.
Thank you.
All right, thank you each for watching us once again here on the UTRGV Coaches Show. We'll see you once again next week after the matchup against Stephen F. Austin.